Welcome to a new video about the LayerOps solution. In this video, we'll show you how to deploy, in just a few minutes, a ReplicaSet mongoDB of 3 nodes, with each node deployed on 3 different providers. The primary on private data center resources, the secondary on an OVHcloud instance, and the last on a Microsoft Azure instance. In the previous video, we saw the creation of the pool instances that will be used for our deployment. So we have 3 pool instances for which we have associated tags. LXD for our private data center resource, Azure and OVH for our cloud instances. We've also created secret environment variables, which will be injected into our mongoDB containers. To create a variable, just click on the button. Enter the variable name, activate or deactivate the fact that the variable is a secret, and finally, enter your value, then click on Create. We're now going to use the import a service functionality with a YAML definition of our mongoDB replica set. You'll find several examples of ready-to-use declarations on the LayerOps documentation site, which may inspire you to create your own deployment recipes. To illustrate how easy it is to deploy services in a multi-cloud environment, just specify the tag of your instance pool in the constraint. For example, for Node 2, we want it to run on an instance with the OVH tag. And for the last node, we've decided to deploy it on the Microsoft Azure provider. That's it, just click on Import Service. Our 3 mongoDB services are now being installed. Now we can check that each of them is deployed on the right cloud provider. Perfect, our node primary is indeed running on our private data center. Let's check node 2, which we found in the relationships between our services, and yes, it's on OVHcloud. And finally, let's check node 3, which should be on the Microsoft Azure provider. Perfect. In our service, we can quickly see the different configurations, including the environment variables we've injected, as well as our deployment constraint with the Azure tag. For each service, we can also have visibility over log outputs, which is very useful for gaining more information on the execution of our containers. But we can also create a temporary SSH connection, so we can perform different actions. Click on a Create SSH Connections and fill in the fields to specify access restrictions. The LayerOps console generates a command to be copied and pasted into a terminal with the restrictions we have defined. Once connected to the primary node, we can check the status of our mongoDB replica. Everything looks perfect. We can see our 3 connected nodes, each deployed on a different cloud provider, within an encrypted network and MTLS secured connections thanks to the service mesh. And yes, in less than 2 minutes, a mongoDB replica of 3 nodes deployed in multicloud and hybrid cloud. Thank you for following this quick demonstration of LayerOps, a real multi-cloud and hybrid cloud solution.